Welcome back, welcome back. Today I'm doing some embroidery. This is my mama design that I came up with in my software. Last year I did mama sweatshirts and it was crazy with the amount of orders that I got. This year I'm trying to try a different design, different to what I had last year, just to give different options. I will show you what I had last year in a couple seconds. I have been invited to a craft market as well in May, so I'm trying to start prepping for that. Let me show you what I had last year. So last year I did these, and they're all personalized, customized. Nana in the varsity font, and then with the option to add this was her grandkids, so we added her grandkids to it. This one is mama in signature, and I remember when the lady saw this, she was so happy because her daughter had just had a baby, or was really close to having a baby, and she wanted her to get it for Mother's Day. And when I did it, she wasn't able to arrange her schedule in order to pick it up, to drop it off at her daughter's house. And I was living really close, so I told her that I would drop it off for her. So she was like really, really happy. Yeah, so we did that. And with this one, the year can be customized. I've had clients order it with 1997 or whatever year they became a mom. So yeah, these are some of what I did. This one also in script or signature font. These ones are, well, no, that's not, but I can do that too. That was a bag that I did for someone actually. So what else do I have? So this year I wanted to try something different with mama. And I have my sweatshirts to the side. I will switch the screen soon. But I want to incorporate the glitter vinyl. So I have these that's been sitting in my stash for a long time. And I was thinking to put this one on the gray sweatshirt, this one on the white sweatshirt, and this one on the black sweatshirt. We'll see how it goes. So let me turn the camera and I will show you what I'm doing. Okay, this is my sweatshirt. It is, what size is this? This is a large, and this is how I find the center. I'm going to show you how I find the center for my sweatshirts, but this one I've already done. So let's try another one. This is my white sweatshirt, and what I do is I just get the sleeve, under the sleeve here on both sides. That's what I do. I literally just fold it in half and make sure the sleeves under here, under the arm, touch each other. And same for down at the hem. And then the next thing I make sure of is that the seams here meet and the seams at the neckline meet each other. And I just put a pin down here. And that's how I find the center of my sweatshirts. You can iron it as well, but I don't have the time. Plus my heat press isn't on right now. And then you have to like worry about getting the seam out after, and so no, I don't iron. My machine, I'm using my 10 needle machine to do this, blah blah. And there's a camera feature on the machine, and once I trace my design, these pins will show up on the screen, and it helps me center the design with my pins. So that helps a lot. This is my stabilizer that I have cut already. This is, what is this stabilizer? Cutaway. This is cutaway stabilizer. I got it off Amazon. I find it very thick. I've bought stabilizer at other places before, and I really like this one because I don't have to use 2 sheets because I think it's really nice and thick for what I'm doing. So this is the hoop for my machine, and this piece goes on the inside of the shirt between your front and back. So open the bottom and put it in. These screws here, there's one here and there is another one on this side. That's what you have to loosen and tighten in order to hoop. It's like I don't have my words today. What is wrong with me? Anyway, so I put it in there. There's also, one thing. There's also a tool that I saw at the embroidery show in Tennessee last year. And it's to help with tightening and loosening that screw. And I regret not buying it. And this year, the embroidery show is later this month. It's in Mississippi, and I'll be there. And if I see that screw driver, I will get it because I need it and I want it. I took that pin out because it's in my way. Maybe I should push the hoop up a little bit more and just put the pin back in. Okay, so for me, I use 4 fingers from this seam here where the ribbing meets the shirt. I use 4 fingers. I go 4 fingers down, and that's where I start my design. So the top of the word is going to be here, and then the design comes down there. That's how I do that. I don't want my hoop to hoop the ribbing because it's thick. And then I put my stabilizer inside in here. So who of my viewers are going to the embroidery show? Do you guys embroider? Do you attend the embroidery show? Are you going? I love that show. There's nothing like that here in Canada. And I made a sewing friend years ago on Facebook, and both of us met up last year in Chicago, and we went to the embroidery show together. And this year we're doing it again. So yeah, I can't wait. It's on the 20, what day am I leaving? The 24th? Can't remember, but it's that weekend. I cannot wait. Okay, so my stabilizer is in. And now I am going to, see, this pin is in the way again. So I need to take it out. This just has to press down and try to have your fabric nice and flat. Another thing I look at is the spacing that I have. Let's turn the camera. The spacing that I have from here to here and the spacing that I have from there to there. And you can see it's like way off. Usually I would move it, but because I have the pins in there and the camera helps me center stuff, it's not absolutely necessary to do that, but I would do it still. I'll do it for this video. I just try to make sure that it's the same on both sides, but if it isn't, the camera on the machine helps me center it. And now it looks a little more even. And the next thing you look at is this mark here, this little ridge here on your hoop, and it's pretty close to in line with the pin. So that's another gauge when you're hooping your project. This is really thick and bulky. And now you go under here and get to those screws. So I have a screwdriver, but like I say, I really want that screwdriver that I saw because it covers this whole screw head, I guess you call it. It covers it and it's just easier on your hand, your wrist, from what I saw. Okay, so that is good. And sometimes I'll go in here and do the same thing if it's needed. The next thing I do is put, I don't even know what it's called. It's like wash away stabilizer, but it sits on top here. I will show you before I embroider. It's like a thin film and yes, it can be washed away. So I guess it's a type of wash away stabilizer, and it sits on top of here and it helps the design not like sink into your fabric. So I really like to use that when I am doing these designs. Let me get back to my computer and I'll show you how the design is gonna stitch out. I'll just do like a mock stitch out. Okay, so at first when I made this design, the red was stitching out first and then the green was stitching out second, and I didn't want to do that, so I swapped it and now the green stitches first. I'm going to put my glitter vinyl down on the sweatshirt and let it do that part. Well, it has to do the, what you call it, the tack down stitch first. Tack down stitch is the first stitch, then you trim around it. Actually, with the glitter vinyl, you don't have to trim because you can just rip it off. You can just tear it off. But this is my first time doing it, and we'll see how that goes. But that's what I've seen, that you can just let it sew the whole thing and then just rip your glitter vinyl off. That's this. And then iron it. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, this is interesting to see how it looks on the sweatshirt. I think the design is 12 inches wide, but I can't remember how tall it is. So let's see how tall it is. It is 5 3/16 tall. So 5 inches. Yeah, that's a good size, I think. So I'm going to save this design to my computer, and then we'll head to the machine. Just turned on my machine, and once I hit OK, the head is going to move. So the sweatshirt is loaded onto the machine, and I have to make sure that, sorry guys for shaking the camera. I have to make sure that everything is clear under here in this area so that the front doesn't stitch to the back. I am going to load the design. I just put it on my USB. I'm going to put it into the machine and set up the threads and go from there. So I just realized something I said earlier in the video does not apply to this design. Remember that water soluble stabilizer I told you I put on the top of my sweatshirts? I usually put it here, and I usually put 2 layers of it so that the design doesn't sink into the sweatshirt. But that doesn't apply for this video or for this design because I'm putting glitter vinyl. So there, that's updated. I am going to hit the scan button. It's this camera feature, this camera button on the screen. I'm going to hit that button, and then the machine is going to scan. So then I will know exactly where the design is going to go and adjust it if need be. So once I hit this button, the head is going, or this hoop, whichever, is going to move. It warns me that it's going to be moved. I hit OK. The hoop is moving. Now that it's done scanning, you can see where the pin is to where my center line is. Let me see if I can zoom that in. Yeah, look at where my pin is and look at where the center line is. The other thing I look at is that pin that I put up here, and I need it to be, I need the top of the words to be up there. Otherwise this design would be down at your belly, your stomach. So let me zoom back out. In order to move that, I'm quite happy with this, but I can still adjust it. We use these buttons here. So I will push this up arrow, and it moves my design up to where I want it to be. And that M, I should really look at this and not that. So now I could put it back down. And I could go across. It's not gonna let me go any further because it knows that it will hit the hoop if I want to stitch. So, but I think I like that. It's pretty, this is pretty close to that. Now I'm gonna move it back to center. And I think I like that actually. I think I like that. So, watching it on the screen, it looks like it should come down a little bit more. And then I'm just gonna do a trace. Trace is to make sure that it's not gonna hit the hoop or whatever. And I will put my glitter vinyl down. Actually, I need to change my thread still. So I haven't changed the thread on the machine. So I will go do that and then I will hit start and you'll see the process. Okay, so I paused it while it was stitching and ripped it to see how easy it is, and it's quite easy. And the edge, of course I have to like clean up whatever, but this is before the last zigzag stitch, the top stitch. So that's pretty clean actually, because I was like, do I rip it out and then do the last stitch? Because this is the first time I'm doing this, but I think I'm gonna do what I've been seeing to let it completely stitch out and then rip the edge, rip the excess vinyl off, because it's quite clean, the edges. Okay guys, I took it out of the machine and now I'm going to attempt to rip the glitter off the sweatshirt. It looks like it's coming off pretty easy. This was a really long stitch out. It was like an hour. So I don't know if I'm gonna get the other one done today, but it seems to be really easy to rip. And I have my heat press on, and I'm going to give it an iron after. These little bits I can probably get out with a tweezer. What can I say about this? I have never like done a design from scratch. Usually I buy my embroidery designs. I've never like actually like, I don't know if you call this digitizing, but I guess that's what it is. Yeah, I've never done anything like that. So this is the first time I've tried this. And I think I like it. I have to see how it looks after I iron it, but it looks pretty good. It just took so long, way longer than I thought. And that's on a 10 needle machine. I think I had it at at 8 or maybe 700 stitches per minute. I have to take this piece out. It's pretty neat idea. I personally would like the white stitch to be a little narrower. To me, it's very wide satin stitch, but I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, this is easy. What do you think about the white stitching? Is it too wide? Is it good? Have you done this type of stuff before? Now I want to go get like some other color glitters. This is the lilac one that I plan to put on the gray. The only thing I also noticed is a lot of my thread was breaking a lot. So I wonder if the plastic on the glitter vinyl, because you know the glitter vinyl has a plastic sheet on top of it. That's why it's like reflecting. When you iron it, the plastic is gonna come off and the glitter, there it is. So I'm wondering if the needle going through this like 1,000 million times, if that's what's causing the thread to break all the time, because it's, you know, kind of sharp. So yeah, I'm gonna give it an iron and I will show you the final result. Okay guys, I learned my lesson. Peel the carrier off before you embroider the design. Remember, this is my first time. So I just messaged my girlfriend and I said, hey, how do you get the carrier off after you embroider? And she's like, the carrier comes off before you embroider. So you see that nice reflection going on? I kind of like how it looks, honestly. But I was trying to peel the carrier off, and honestly, like, well, the only way you can tell is like this part is reflective and this part isn't reflecting. But it's like so hard to get the carrier off. So she told me, take the carrier off before you embroider. So I'm like, okay, lesson learned. Now I know for the next one. So I need to do this first, which makes sense, and then embroider it onto the fabric and then rip it off. This is my first one and I keep it real on this channel, so if there's mistakes, you're gonna see it too. I don't know if I want to sit down and try and take all that plastic off because it's kind of hard to do. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll sit down on the couch and get it off. But yeah, this is the Mama. I'm gonna call it the Mama Glitter Sweatshirt. And I don't know, maybe this afternoon I'll try the gray one with the lilac glitter, and I will peel my carrier sheet off first and try it again, because you don't get good at something if you don't try something. That's my motto. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And remember, I'm going to be at the embroidery show. If you're there and you spot me, say hi. I can't wait for that show. I really can't wait. I think I'm also going to tweak this design a little bit. I'm going to make the mama a little bit narrow, the satin stitch. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm trying to reach 3,000 subscribers by June. Yeah, that's my goal, getting back on YouTube. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.